welcome into this Southeastern 14 prediction and preview video for LSU taking on Texas A&M in Death Valley there at Baton Rouge. Guys, we have to just dive into this one as Jaden Daniels is making his Heisman push here. And, of course, you have the Texas A&M Aggies trying to move on after the firing of Jimbo Fisher as they're in a search for their new head coach. They have a different quarterback at the helm, so there's all these different things that we will touch on today and take into account. So we're excited that you have joined us for this preview. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and also you want to check out our partner at Bet Online, guys. If you want to wager on this game, on any other games, if you want to just make things a little bit more interesting and that's your deal, you need to check out Bet Online. The major of all the pro sports leagues have now tipped off with the NBA in full swing. College basketball is going, NFL, college football still going strong, UFC, NHL, whatever you would like to bet on. Bet Online is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions. All of it is available at either a desktop app or, at your fingertips with a mobile app. So however you want to access it, you can do so at any time. Head on over to Bet Online today. And remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV. Yes, we're a part of the Believe network as well. So if you use the promo code that Believe has, it helps us out. It helps you out. BLEAV for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. Guys, this one is going to be quite interesting for many reasons. Of course, as we said, Texas A&M trying to move on from Jimbo Fisher. So when Texas A&M has the ball, guys, they will have a left-handed sophomore quarterback in Jalen Henderson in there. He's completed about 64% of his passes for 410 yards on the season in his two games that he started for Max Johnson here. Remember, this is their third quarterback now. And here's the thing about Texas A&M. They've had the propensity to kind of throw the ball down the field a little bit with Henderson. He's not been afraid to let it rip. Moose Muhammad made a really nice catch, in this past game against Abilene Christian. They made it a little bit closer than they needed to. Offense had a little trouble getting going, but they ended up being able to get things going. Ruben Owens finally had a nice day for Texas A&M. So, listen, it's not going to be easy on the road for this young quarterback going into that environment. I think it does help him that it's a 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock Central kick, 12 o'clock Eastern there. But man, it's going to be tough for Jalen Henderson and that group to go in there and just, they have to execute high on third down and be able to sustain drives. Can they protect him? LSU hasn't been elite at getting pressure this year. They're not a defense that has racked up a lot of sacks, don't have a, just ton of takeaways. But when you're talking about this Texas A&M offense, it's kind of hard to know what you're going to get week in and week out, especially with all the injuries that they've had. So it'll be interesting to see how, when Texas A&M is on offense, are they able to get that run game going a little bit? Listen, they're not elite on in terms of yards per pass play. They're just under 8 yards per pass play. Turnover percentage is just midway, 1.6% of the time. So they're taking care of it fairly well, decently. But third down, like I said, only on the year 43.15% of the time. That's okay. About middle of the pack in the SEC. It's not definitely where you want to be, where you're converting 50% of those or more. And there's only about 3 teams in the league that are doing that, and Texas A&M not being one of those. I will say this, they have opportunities because LSU has allowed almost 50% conversion on third down defensively. LSU's been not very good at all when it comes to that. And the yards per pass play, like I said, for LSU, they have given up big chunk plays at different points of the season. It's hard for them to consistently get stops. And can they do that in an early game here? And just get off to a hot start defensively and not give up some of those big plays. Because now Texas A&M kind of playing nothing to lose. It's not really tight around there with Jimbo Fisher. All the wondering, okay, are we going to have a head coach this week, or is he going to get fired? Things like that can loosen up a team, lift a burden a little bit, and they'll be able to play more free and easy, so to speak. So I would like to see Texas A&M just come out and let it rip and test this LSU defense, who has been not very good on the back end early on. When LSU has the ball, guys, they've been no other word than just absolutely dominant. I mean, Jaden Daniels, what he has been able to do, and the reason that he is a Heisman Trophy contender and maybe even the favorite, is because he has done things with the combination of his arm and legs that just haven't been done in college football. The other day, throwing for over 350, rushing for over 200. I mean, it was just ridiculous against Florida. Continued to pad his stats there against Georgia State in a game, an economy game, a revenue game for Georgia State, and when they came into town. So that's part of college football that I am afraid is going to disappear a little bit when we get to this 12-team playoff, and people are having more apt to schedule bigger opponents and things like that, because hey, some of those teams like Georgia State, they need that for revenue and stuff. Okay. And Jaden Daniels also needed it to get those stats padded a little bit. But guys, they're averaging almost 10 yards per pass play, even when you take sacks into account, and just unbelievable explosive plays. Jaden Daniels himself has like 76 explosive plays that he's responsible for, and that is more than a lot of teams have this year in terms of being able to produce explosive plays. He is just absolutely unconscious when it comes to distributing the ball to those terrific receivers, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas. But he is going up against a Texas A&M defense that is pretty elite when it comes to yards per run play. I mean, they're giving up guys, right around 3 yards or less per run play, which is elite. I mean, you're holding people to less than 3 yards every time they run the ball. That's tremendous. On third down, they're excellent as well. Getting off the field 28.77% of the time. They only allow a conversion 28.77% of the time, which that means they are getting off of the field at a very, very high rate. So defense has not been the problem for Texas A&M for the large part of the season. They're allowing less than 6 yards per pass play. Guys, that's tremendous. I mean, Texas A&M doing a really, really good job defensively, as they have done for a few years now. It's been the offense that has kind of let them down, some special teams woes at times, but Texas A&M playing good defense under DJ Durkin. So we'll see if they're able to hold up against LSU. And the thing about LSU is they just stress you so much with those receivers, and it's not like you can afford to drop people out and try to play underneath coverage and things like that at times, because you have to have someone to spy on Jaden Daniels. He's so athletic. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. I'm looking forward to seeing if LSU can run the ball a little bit in terms of without Jaden Daniels to help him out, make his play action game more effective, things like that. But the thing is, guys, I would expect if there's anything that LSU has in their bag offensively, okay, I expect them to dump it out here, and anything that results in extra yardage or touchdowns or anything like that in favor of Jaden Daniels and racking up those numbers. This is his last push for that Heisman Trophy. I expect him to if they can run it up, they'll try to run it up. They're a 10.5-point favorite. Over under is 66. Guys, I'm going to go with LSU at home. I think that 10.5 is a little much, even though Texas A&M is playing a young quarterback, interim head coach, all of those things. I think those young playmakers are stepping up a little bit. I think Jalen Henderson can actually make some plays against this LSU defense. I think Moose Muhammad and those receivers are going to step up and help him out. I think Reuben Owens, and Smith is there. All these playmakers, I think they'll make enough plays to cover. I think LSU wins at home, but I think this ends up being a shootout because somewhere in the 30s. I think it could be the winner of this game in the high 30s because I do think Texas A&M is good enough to get enough stops to keep it close. But can their offense produce enough? And LSU's defense has been horrific. So I'm going to go with LSU to win this one. I'll go with Texas A&M to cover, though. I think that over is in jeopardy as well. So these are according to Bet Online. Remember, we're presented by Bet Online. Use the promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, to get 50% off on your welcome bonus on your first deposit. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this Texas A&M and LSU preview and prediction. Remember, I'm going with LSU to win. I'm going with Texas A&M to cover for all the reasons that I listed there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we will catch you guys next time right here for more SEC football coverage on Southeastern 14.